Hello, guys. I figured I'd film this clock, or this case, should I say, because some people I think have been wondering about the case and its status. You might remember this from well over 5 years ago. This was a case I had downstairs and it had a grandmother clock movement in it. It was an Ergos-made movement. But the movement was screwed up as well as the actual clock itself. You could see the videos of it, and it chimed uncontrollably until it just completely gave out. So I pitched it. And I got asked of what the future of this clock, like regarding any stuff that might be put in it and all that, like, would probably be. So I'll just show the case. The lock is screwed up on it. But this is how, like, it needs bent. It's real out of place. It's a homemade case, obviously. I mean, you can just tell. There were panels here, wooden panels, that actually moved, but they wouldn't come out. So I actually broke them out of there, because I want to put glass there. And the 4 screws there where the original chimes were. And I'm pretty sure these might be for the movement. Those screw holes are a lot bigger. And this top, the finial's missing, but this top actually opens up. And you can see down the case. I might glue that shut, because the chimes I might get might go in that place. Now, glass might go in here. Similar to that. If I can find, like, plexiglass, I don't think plastic, that wouldn't look too cool on that. But everything at the clock has been gotten rid of. The weights, chains, everything. But the only thing I have saved is this pendulum. This is the original one used on the original movement. I retained it for, I don't actually know why I kept it, but I kept it. It's not even 4 foot, and I don't know if it's going to suit the movement I'm going to get. But I have an idea thought up in my mind. Now it's just to see if it's going to be, timely that I can get these before they go. So I found a couple listings on eBay that I think might work here. I have a grandfather clock face that is labeled Baldwin, the same company behind a piano in Oregon. But it said Howard Miller on it, and I don't know if it's just a relabeling by Baldwin, just using their pieces or what. But that's what I might use if I can. It's a moon phase, and it's a triple chime dial, which means I might accompany a triple chime movement in here. It's going to be a Howard Miller movement. It's going to be cable driven, and this pendulum might be utilized with it. I probably can't get those huge ones because this case is barely... You can see just how wide it is. It would only fit, like, 2, like, hands going this way. Not even, actually. But I might seal this, like, covering here shut and put a light right there. Like a plug-in light. To do this. It'll be a triple chime, glass here to view the movement, a light to also see it. Cable-driven Howard Miller movement, Baldwin face, the weights, and the pendulum right there could be retained. It looks a bit small for those, like, quality movements. I was going to think about putting a concerto in here, but that might be too big, because those movements are huge as heck. They accompany 16 hammers in total, and this, you could see, is not very wide, but it might fit, like, you could see, like, my hand goes past that. I think it'll fit a triple chime, though. I think it will. It looks like it will, anyway. So, I don't think it's too bad. There's a design down there. I might fulfill some requests, later. I'm going to regard these now. I think it's the 2 Ridgeways going off at the same time. I'll take a look at that and edit it once I get done. But... and I am 18 years old for people who ask how old I am. 19 next April. Anyway, I also need a few suggestions here. Does anyone know, like, I'm looking on eBay, and eBay's not always the best place to look, because you got those scammers, and sometimes they have, I don't know, there's just stupid people that sometimes have high prices on things that they aren't really worth, or something like that. But I found a couple things that are in price range, and I might get them, but if they don't fare out, because the stuff I have saved has actually been viewed like once per hour by many other people associated with selling on eBay. Do you think you can disclose to me a couple, like any of you could disclose to me any websites in which I can find a movement or a face or weights or something like that if this doesn't pan out? I mean, I only saved these last night, so it's not too early to say whether or not it's going to be a fail. I think it will be, because the reason I haven't videoed any of this is because I have made attempts like this in the past, but they never came to fruition, so I just never got them on video because, quite frankly, they'd probably be a waste of time to watch anyway, because I just save stuff and I never end up getting it in the end, and something always backfires. Because making a clock like this isn't easy, especially if it's coming from the original factory. So, that's what I have planned on this. This case is actually not much taller than me. It's about probably a few centimeters taller than me, so that's what I'd like to do. And then I'm not sure what's going to happen after, but I can really envision a movement of some sort in this as a future project. My dad said he wanted to put a quartz movement in, and I immediately objected to that idea, because I know it can have much more than that. It didn't have that originally, so I mean, I just threw it out the window. But, I mean, I listened to his idea, but it just doesn't make any sense for this. But, since I gotta do stuff later, associated with school and whatnot, I'll probably make these, I think, over the weekend, these requests. But I'll get back to you as soon as, or anyone, especially the requesters, as soon as I get this stuff figured out. But that's the status of the case, and that's all.